This is Wright Brennan, and we're here with Sara Fawcett, the CEO of United Way of the Midlands, another episode of Lost in the Midlands. Sara, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about the awesome organization here today.
Thank you, Wright. I really appreciate the interest.
Yeah, this is a very exciting sit down. I know you guys are doing a lot of really awesome work here in the Midlands. And if you could tell me a little bit kind of about your journey to,
Sure.
to the...
How I got here.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to figure that out, actually. I've been in this role for 3.5 years. Prior to being here, I was with a commercial real estate development company as their head of human resources. Edens is the name of the company. Okay. If you're a person in the Midlands, you shopped at Trenton Plaza or shops at Woodhill, those are their developments here. Worked for them for 13 years, and then for 14 years prior to that, I worked for the bank formerly known as Wachovia, now known as Wells Fargo, and I was started out in corporate banking and worked my way up through some HR roles there. So I do not have any nonprofit work, professional work in my background. However, I was a member of the board of directors of United Way of the Midlands for 6 years, and at the time that Mac Bennett, the prior CEO, was announcing his retirement, I thought, well, I'll throw my name in the hat. What do I got to lose? So 260 applicants later, I was the last one standing. So wow. I'm very grateful to be here. I really am very honored and grateful to be in this job.
Wow, that is quite a journey. Very exciting.
Yeah, I wish I had a traditional story to tell about climbing the nonprofit ladder, but I don't. So you just never know.
Well, that just speaks to how unique you guys are here. And I was actually, looking at all the stuff that you guys do, and I really did kind of come to discover y'all's place here in the Midlands and exactly what you do. Can you speak about
sure.
exactly what it is the
United Way does? Yeah, and I think United Way is a name that people know. It's a brand that's been around for a long time, and I think people know that United Way does good stuff in the community. But then the question is, so what is that stuff? And really, it's two things. When people donate to United Way, there are two ways that we invest their money back in the community. One is through targeted investments with our nonprofit partners, like Transitions Homeless Shelter, or the Cooperative Ministry, or Harvest Hope Food Bank, or Sister Care, or a number of health and human services organizations across. And when we talk about the Midlands, it's 6 counties, not just Richland or Lexington County. We also serve Orangeburg, Calhoun, Fairfield, and Newberry counties as well. So we have partners like that in all of our counties, and we do targeted grant making. So we will take your donor dollars and grant them out to these organizations in some fairly specific areas such as early childhood literacy, housing, homelessness, and health, access to health care.
Wow.
Now, the other thing that we do with your donor dollars is there are direct service programs that United Way directly provides into the community.
Okay.
And that is in about 3 to 4 ways. One is we have free dental and eye care clinics in Richland and Lexington counties under a organization called Well Partners that we own. And that provides free dental care for adults and children and eye care for adults to those that are uninsured.
Oh, wow.
So people that are not eligible for Medicaid but don't have access to dental or eye insurance. And I think sometimes those are the forgotten healthcare needs. So that's one direct service that we provide.
Yeah.
Another one is addressing early childhood literacy. We have a program called Midlands Reading Consortium, MRC. It's in over 25 schools in the Midlands, tutors 700 kids per year. We're on track to tutoring 1,000 kids in the next year or so.
Wow.
But kids that are on the bubble, in other words, they're not the ones that need the professional reading intervention, but they're kids that are identified by the teachers as needing some extra help.
Yeah.
We recruit community volunteers, just like your viewers, and we train them to tutor one-on-one a kindergarten through 2nd grader to help them learn to read better so that they don't become one of those students that needs the professional reading intervention. And then finally, we do work around homelessness, particularly around youth homelessness. Kids that are 17 to 24 years old who've aged out of the foster care system, who may have run away from home, maybe have been thrown away by their families. And we have programs that we work with partners across the community to help get those young people
Yeah.
who are experiencing homelessness for the first time, get them the services that they need. And then the fourth thing that we do directly is something called Resilient Richland. This is a program that we just started in Richland County. We're looking to expand into the other counties, where we work with the schools to identify students who are going through traumatic experiences,
Okay.
and do what we can to help mitigate that, whether that's helping provide supports for their family, whether that's intervention in the school, community awareness so that people in the community know what resiliency is and how adverse childhood experiences affect your ability to be resilient in the long term. So those are the direct things that we do.
Yeah.
Everything, whether it's through the partner agencies or direct, falls under one of those categories of basic needs like homelessness and those kinds of things, education or access to health.
Wow.
So when you think of United Way, think of those three big buckets, and some of the work we do with partners, some of the work we do ourselves.
Well, you guys certainly cast a broad net of help
We do.
across the Midlands.
We do.
So that's really awesome, and something that people just I think understand is we do have a huge homeless problem here in the Midlands. I mean, it's really troubling to see that, and it's awesome you guys are making an impact. What are some of the partners that you guys work with, or how do y'all kind of make that work?
Our biggest partner is Transitions.
Okay.
Transitions Homeless Center on Main Street. They are the largest homeless shelter in the Midlands, 260 beds that are full just about every night.
Wow.
In addition to that, though, it's a homeless center, so they provide services so that people will move out of homelessness and into permanency. Excuse me. Another one of our big partners is Homeless No More, which is a progressive care for families, starting with the Family Emergency Shelter, the family shelter on Two Notch, and then St. Lawrence Place, which is transitional housing, where families go through programs to be ready for permanent housing.
Yeah.
And then they move families into permanency either through things like Columbia Housing or through vouchers or things of that nature. So those are probably our two main partners that address the homeless population. We also work with the City of Columbia, particularly in the wintertime, to provide an emergency winter shelter called the Inclement Weather Center. We run that seasonally on behalf of the city, and it is for people that are just unsheltered, often the folks that are the toughest to reach, the really chronically homeless folks. When the temperature goes down below 40 degrees at night, we open up the center. They get a hot meal, they get a bed, they get a shower, they get services. We make sure that we've got, social workers and people on hand that can help get them the help that they need. And then there's many, I'm leaving out some other partners too. So, Mercy, and there's lots of other partners as well, but those are some examples of partners that we work with. We also do outreach on behalf of the City of Columbia. We have an outreach team here at United Way that works with Columbia area mental health and other organizations to reach out to those folks that are on the street, that are unsheltered, and that we want to be sure that we get them the services and the help that they need.
Wow, this is a powerful organization, really connecting a lot of dots. So that's fantastic.
That's really what we try to do. We try to connect people and resources to solve the big problems like this. That's really what we do. We do it in those buckets that I described, and we do it through the two ways I described. But really, that's what we're doing. We're connecting resources and people to solve these big problems. Awesome.
Can you speak a little bit about the current, COVID environment and how you guys are being affected by that?
Sure. We have definitely seen an increase in needs. There's no doubt about it. There was a big spike in requests for food, for rental assistance, for utilities assistance, child care, those kinds of things right off the bat in March and April. Over the summer, when the extra unemployment dollars kicked in, requests went down, as you would expect. And in September and October, and we're expecting to see the same as we look at the November numbers, all those needs shot back up again. If people were thinking that maybe we've gotten through the worst of it, I hope that we have. But we still have friends and neighbors that are not just a month behind now, they're more like 3 months behind on their rent or their utilities. And I know we were talking before we started recording, one of the things that we've discovered is that many of the folks that are asking for assistance have never had to access systems of care before.
Wow.
They don't know how to access the food bank other than go get in line. They don't know how to get rent assistance. They don't know if they're eligible for food stamps now or if they're eligible for other types of government help. And so one of the things that we at United Way try to do is give them the preparation and the help. Whenever someone calls United Way's 211 service, which is our statewide information and referral service, they're going to talk to a trained operator who can not only help them with the immediate need that they're bringing to the table, but help triage them, help triage that individual or their family and figure out what else do they need that they may not be thinking about. And then directing them to the agencies that can give them that help. They can tell them what those agencies are going to need, what type of documentation they're going to need, when the best time of day to go is. If they need an appointment, do they need to make an appointment first? Really prepare the person. And there's actually two ways to access the information. One is to call 211. The other is to go to sc211.org. That's the online. Same thing, just it's online and you explore on your own. It does the same thing though. It triages. It's going to ask you a series of questions, helps you triage your situation, and helps direct you to the help that you're going to need.
Wow. It strikes me how efficient you guys are, and how the processes just seem so well put together. I mean, it's very impressive. And I mean, what a great service. So that's awesome. Let's kind of take a look at, somebody who may want to help or become an individual or an organization. How can what are some steps to get involved?
Well, if you're an individual, I would encourage you. We've got a program, seasonal program going right now called 1,000 Acts of Kindness. 1,000 Small Acts of Kindness. And if you go to uway.org, uway.org, that is our website, and you'll see it there. And there are really three things that you can do that can make a difference, because a lot of small acts can make a huge difference in the community. You can donate, obviously, but you can also volunteer. We have volunteer opportunities out there. Or you can just sign up to stay connected, to know what's going on, to know where the need is the greatest and how you can help the most. So I'd encourage people to do that.
Yeah.
Now, the other way that people can get involved with United Way is through a workplace giving campaign. That has been the historic way that United Way has really collected our donations, is through the workplace, where donors can donate through their workplace through a payroll deduction, and every pay period, $5 comes out, or whatever it is that person signs up for. And what we find is that people are able to give more if they give through payroll deduction like that than if they could by stroking a $100 check. They're able to do more on a $10 per pay period, $240 a year, as opposed to a one-time donation. Now, if your workplace does not run those campaigns, we're happy to talk to you about doing that. We have moved our workplace campaigns online. We now have a great tool that was developed in conjunction with one of our great small business, well, it's not really a small business anymore, but one of our local businesses here, Cyberwoven, to create a campaign platform where there's information about United Way that can be tailored to your organization. There are volunteer opportunities on that site that can be tailored to your organization. It can link to our giving portal. It is not a giving portal in and of itself. It links to it, but it can have messages from leaders of your organization. It's really a neat tool, and we're really excited about it because it's very easy to use and very easy for us to customize for an individual business. Right now, we have active campaigns on that site that are anywhere from 7 employees all the way up to a couple of thousand employees. So it's a flexible way to run a workplace campaign. Having said that, if you don't work for a workplace that runs a campaign, obviously come to the website, look at 1,000 Acts of Kindness, and figure out something that you can do to make a difference.
Awesome. That's really cool. And I do want to also address the 4-star charity award that you guys have, and somebody who's thinking about making a contribution. I think that will kind of help them understand how the money is divvied.
Sure. Yeah, the Charity Navigator is really the premier rating organization for nonprofits, and 4 stars is the highest rating that they give. They look at a number of components in terms of determining who they're going to give that rating to, and it has to do with a lot with financial efficiency and effectiveness and accountability. And we're very proud that, I can't tell you how far back it goes, but at least every year that I've been here, we've gotten that 4-star rating. We're very proud of it because we want to be, we're a trust. People give us their trust. When they give us their money or they give us their time, we want to be as transparent as we can in terms of how we're using those dollars and be able to put as much information out there so that they know that we're using those dollars in the most efficient way possible to address the most immediate and toughest needs that we have in the community.
Awesome. That's really cool. Well, Sara, do you have any final message for the viewers that you would like to, leave who may be interested, or, to encourage them?
Sure. Absolutely. Please come to uway.org, uway.org. There's all kinds of information about United Way, what we do, how we do it, all the things that I talked about, Well Partners, Resilient Richland, all those things. We've got websites, we've got pages on our website that will give you loads of information. There are stories about people that we've helped. I really do encourage you to come out to uway.org and take a look. And if you need help, if you find yourself in that situation where you are not sure where to turn, let me encourage you to go to sc211.org or call 211 from any phone anywhere in the state of South Carolina. And don't, especially if you're somebody who's never had to do this before, never had to access the care, please know that you will get the help that you need. You will be prepared to work with these agencies. You won't have to make a dozen phone calls to figure out where you need to go. Those folks can help. So I encourage you to do that too.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for spending some time with me and, helping us spread the message. And thanks so much for the incredible work y'all are doing in the community. It's really helpful.
Right. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I'm really very grateful that you were taking interest.
Awesome.